I came to SFA after the small college where I was teaching outside of New York City was closing. It was a small Catholic women's college, and women's colleges were just really struggling at that time. So, we had some notice that it was all going to end. But so I was looking all over the country for an opportunity, and particularly for an opportunity to have a leadership role somewhere. And I actually had visited SFA. I'd seen a couple of plays here in the summer times. I'd spent a good bit of time in East Texas because I was part of the Texas Shakespeare Festival for 7 summers between about 1988 and 2006. So I came to SFA because I had a great professional opportunity in 2007 when I was asked to come here and be the director of the School of Theater. So I got to do that leadership role as I was looking for, and I did that for 7 years, and I really appreciated that. The faculty and staff have always been very mutually supportive here, and even better than that, I just have always loved the students here. There's just the right level of ambition without the students being backbiting among one another. There's a lot of mutual support, I sense, among the students. So many opportunities, and that's something I inherited when I became the director. I didn't institute all these many student productions as well as faculty directed productions. But that provides so much opportunity. Maybe that's one reason the students don't feel excessively competitive toward each other. But also just no haughtiness on the part of the students. There's just an eager desire to learn that seems very authentic, and certainly a desire to do well in productions. So that's all been great. As fun as it is when a student that I've gotten to work with goes on to work in the profession of live theater, movies and television, whatever aspect of it might be, I'm aware that that's always going to be a relatively small number of the students that I get to work with. So I think one thing that I would love is if I'm able to inspire intellectual curiosity among students so that they leave with maybe an even greater desire to keep learning and just understanding a little more of the fun of lifelong learning. It's, once you're done with some things that are specifically youthful, then you need to have other things to engage you in your life. And for a lot of people, that's, their kids and family. And but that doesn't foreclose the possibility of wanting to continue to learn. And the theater's a fantastic resource to do that, whether you're doing it professionally or in a community theater or an academic theater, as I've done. Every play presents new challenges. You're always learning about literature and psychology and history and the world in so many different ways. But also, the desire to keep reading, keep going to all kinds of the arts, and not limited to theater, or not even limited to dramatic storytelling in films and television also, but going to art museums and reading literature and going to concerts and going to ballet and going to opera and all the different things. It really just sort of another aspect of that same thing is trying to help students develop critical thinking so that whatever one is confronted with, here's somebody's theory, or here's somebody's idea, or here's something that someone is telling you is a fact, to just kind of have the capacity to stop and think, wait, does that really fit with other things that I know? How could I confirm this, or maybe get more information, or find out if it's just not true? That kind of critical thinking, I think, serves all of us, regardless of what we end up doing for a living, or if we do end up devoted primarily to family or whatever outside of our jobs we might be focused on. In order to describe my teaching style in 3 words, I would gravitate to make them laugh. And I think it relates to my career-long pursuit of directing as my career, which is storytelling. And I developed a really strong aversion to flop sweat as a director. I've sometimes said I'd rather die than bore an audience. So I do I'm trying to keep students really engaged, and part of that does have a lot to do with humor. And hopefully students don't get bored in my classes, in part because I'm trying to keep it lively, I'm trying to keep it fun, and I really do love to hear laughter in the classroom, just as I love to hear laughter in the theater, even if the play is not a farce or something that creates continuous laughter. Whenever the audience laughs, you know that they're engaged. And I feel a little bit the same way in the classroom. I think the one thing from my own experience that I would share with a student that wants to go into performing arts is go through every door that opens for you. And that isn't always easy to do. Sometimes it involves making a sacrifice in some other aspect of your life. In order to do theater, television, film, other performing arts, really, you have to be mobile. You have to be able to get and go where the opportunities are. And sometimes that means it's really hard to have a pet. Sometimes it means it's really hard to sustain a long-term relationship. You may have a partner who has a great job that they can't just get up and leave every time you have an opportunity in another city, another whole part of the world. So it's inevitably going to entail sacrifice, because for a long time, if not forever, one doesn't make a lot of money. And for a long time, if not forever, it's really a lot of work. So it's very helpful if you really love it. But just the ability and the willingness to strike out on your own and make a life potentially away from the people that you become accustomed to and that you may love very deeply. You don't have to stop loving them, but sometimes you do need to just leave them for long periods of time, or maybe forever, in terms of living in the same town or something. And whether or not you perceive that as a great opportunity or a great sacrifice or some of each, I think it's something you need to be ready for. I'm excited to have the opportunity to direct Hedda Gabler, which is a play I find pretty mysterious. So as excited as I am, I'm a little bit worried also, because it's a big challenge, I would say, to interpret it and try to guide a group of fellow artists through it. I've directed a whole lot of plays in my life, and by many major authors, but I'd never directed a play by Henrik Ibsen. So I guess it's about time. And so the play selection committee chose this play, and Cleo House-Keller asked me to direct it, and so away we go.